Hi, I'm Pattum from FreeFinCal, and that's right, the National Pension Scheme will not offer you a pension. Let's also discuss other problems with it and how to use the NPS if you are currently a subscriber. So let's get this thing first out of the way. If you are currently using NPS for that additional 50,000 tax saving benefit over and above the 1.5 lakh from Section 80C, then don't make a big deal about it. You are chasing after peanuts and you've got it. So in that sense, it's a success story. You've got seriously bigger problems at hand. And that small 50,000 a year contribution will not create a positive or negative impact in your life, because we just saw that if your monthly expenses are 40 to 50,000, 50,000, then you need to invest that 40 to 50,000 every month for retirement. So you need to be investing a lot more for retirement, and out of that, the a monthly approximately 4,500 rupees contribution towards this 50k tax saving benefit will not create a big deal, will not create a big impact in your life. So don't act superior like you're saving extra tax, or don't worry about your choice. It means nothing. It's just peanuts, because you need to be investing a lot more for retirement. And for God's sakes, don't invest that lot more in NPS. You'll just destroy your corpus and your chance to retire whenever you want. Invest it elsewhere. If you like to use this NPS for that 50k benefit, use it. It means nothing either way. So if you want to do it that way, then use NPS as a pure debt component. And keep your equity elsewhere. That will be much more safer, simpler and cleaner to handle. Much of the problems discussed in the next slides are not going to impact you in any way much, so don't worry about it. NPS is actually a mutual fund. Now, there's no sovereign guarantee associated with it, as many people think. Some people think, at least. And many people look at the last few year returns and say they'll get 10%, 9% returns over the next 20 years, 30 years. Who knows? Nobody knows. It's a mutual fund. Did you know that in July 2013, NPS had a crash because of the bonds? My annualized return was something like 11.5 something, and it went from 11.5 to 6% overnight because of a crash in gilts, not even in equity. I have only 15% equity in my central government NPS, so it's just gilts. So its returns will fluctuate. So, and it's a hybrid mutual fund. It's not a single asset class. So the asset and if you have active choice asset allocation, returns will keep varying. So don't expect too much. And if you're using it only for that 50,000, as most of you are going to be, don't worry about it. It's nothing at all. NPS was started because the government feared bankruptcy. Now, the old pension scheme, the pension used to increase twice a year because of the DNS allowance, and every 10 years because of the pay commissions. My mother's pension since 2002 has increased at a year-on-year rate of 13.5%, which is astonishing. No company can stay in business if they give that kind of returns, that kind of annuities. So the government realized this as early as 1990s, and they said we need to stop this because we're going to go bankrupt. Then they bought in the NPS. All the government employees who want the old pension scheme back instead of the new pension scheme, I mean, they don't understand the first thing about economics. It's plain stupid to demand guaranteed pension, and you'll also say every budget I want lower and lower tax. It's just plain stupid. You don't understand what you're even asking for. So the old pension scheme is not going to come back. The new pension scheme is here to stay. Stop cribbing about it. NPS does not offer you a pension. Now, of all the things that I hate about the NPS, this has got to be the number one. Well, there's one more, but at least this competes for the number one position. You have a product that says National Pension Scheme, and it does not give you a pension. It only creates the corpus for you. You need to take out the money at the time of exit. You need to take out the money, and you need to go to an annuity provider they have listed, and you need to go and buy an annuity product. This is not a special product. Anybody can buy the same product from elsewhere. You won't get any special annuity rate because you have suffered in the NPS for so long. What kind of I don't understand what kind of scheme calls itself pension scheme and does not offer you a pension. It gives you a corpus. Yeah, I understand it's a defined contribution scheme and all that, but come on, it's just they should have. My point is that they should be having a special annuity product for the NPS, and NPS subscribers alone should be able to buy from it. And that NPS annuity product should have a slightly higher annuity rate than other products available in the market. Then it makes sense. You can call it NPS. Otherwise, no. It's nothing special about it. It doesn't offer you a bench. Look, the NPS is a failure. It never took off. That is why they introduced the 50,000 additional tax saving benefit, and everybody, well, you know what happens in India, right? You say tax saving, you say free, tongues are out, and everybody starts follow, they go like Pied Piper and the children. So, most people use the NPS for tax saving benefit. They do not use it for the actual pension unless they are forced upon, like the government employees, or they have employer contributions incorporated. No, so the in that sense, NPS is a failure because people are choosing it for the wrong reasons. It's like saying, I go to that restaurant because the water is good. Come on, that's stupid, right? It should be marketed properly, and in order to be marketed properly, there has to be two changes made in the NPS. The first one I had already said, it needs a special annuity product. The second one is this one. It's got terrible liquidity. You cannot pull out money if you want. So let's say my retirement age is 65, but if I pull out at 60, 40% of the corpus I have to buy a annuity. I have to get I have to give it to a life insurer, and they will give me a pension for it. Rest 60% is tax free. But if I want to exit at 59, just 1 year less, then 80% has to be annuitized. I will lose 80%. I will get only 20% tax free. What kind of a rule is that? How many corporate employees are going to work until 60? Most of them are not even working until 55 today. Even 50, in many cases, many industries, is a problem. So, please don't assume that you will work until 60. That is why I said, if you are using NPS only for that 50,000, then this liquidity problem will not affect you. Because most of your money, hopefully, if you have any sense, will be elsewhere and not in NPS. Then it does not matter for you. But if most of your money is going to be in NPS, then it's a terrible problem. Especially for people like me, most of my money is in NPS. I mean, this is a horrible idea. I mean, that is the reason why I keep saying NPS cannot be compared with other products. You can do the math with a mutual fund and all that, but the liquidity profiles are very, very different. Liquidity means when I want money, I can remove it. People say, no, discipline is very important. Forced locking is very important. People should be forced to invest in a product that they cannot remove from for until 60 and so on. People die of cancer. People have heart problems. People become bedridden because of accidents and cannot work anymore. They don't have any other source of money. What will they do? They'll wait, is it? They'll beg, borrow and steal until NPS matures, is it? Until 60, is it? What kind of logic is that? It's a stupidity. That's what happens when people do not experience the ups and downs of life. They don't have that kind of perspective to understand. You need money. When I have a need, I need money. If I cannot pull out money when at the time of my need, the product is useless. Did you know that NPS had a partial withdrawal rule stating that the subscriber has to be a 10-year-old subscriber until until he is eligible for first withdrawal? In my institute, a faculty got a critical illness. He's now okay, but he got a critical illness in the 3 years after joining. He could not remove from NPS because it was illiquid. Then they realized it and they changed it to 3 years just a couple of months ago. And you can only remove your contributions, not even the gains, just your contributions. The employee contributions cannot be removed. And you can only do it for certain specific conditions that they provide. And you can only remove it this many times a year during the subscription period. It's an awful idea to lock money in. That 50,000, okay, please don't don't spew hate on me. Sorry, spew hate on me for saying it's a bad product. 50,000 is okay because you have bigger fish to fry. You got to invest a lot more elsewhere. But imagine the plight of people like me who have got 40% of my corpus in NPS. I'm one of the oldest NPS subscribers in the country. And I will end up being one of the wealthiest NPS subscribers in the country if I stick to my job or stick to my contributions, whatever. But it's locked. I can't pull it out when I want, right? I mean, very few people understand it, but who cares? So if you have employer contributions in NPS, I would strongly suggest that you use it as a debt fund and you invest in equity elsewhere. It's much more better to control it, and you have a chance to get higher returns, or you can even manage the corpus. You can do some tactical play asset allocation if you want and reduce volatility in it. I would suggest you can have about 40 to 60% of GILTs or the G bonds in the NPS. They will be volatile though, and the rest of it in the C bonds or the corporate bonds. At the time of retirement, depending on how much money you have from other sources, you can buy a pension for 40 to 50% or even more from the NPS corpus. That's the only way to manage it. In my case, I just said I have 40% from NPS. My hope is that at the time of retirement, that pension from the 40% corpus will be able to match most of my expenses, and the rest of it I'll be able to manage with that. The rest of it, 60% is now in equity. I'll be able to handle that, use that, invest some of it, save some of it, and so on, using the so-called bucket strategy, and manage my post-retirement. So that's the point I'm trying to make, is that pension should be one component of your retirement basket. This is a word that P.V. Subramanian uses. It should be one component, should not be the component. So the mindset of our parents and our grandparents should not come to us in this case. So for government employees, again, do not change NPS asset allocation. If they offer you a choice, just leave it as it is. Presently, we have 15% equity. Use the bulk of the equity from elsewhere. Use mutual funds, direct equity, whatever you're comfortable with. Do not use Tier 2 for tax saving. Government employees can use Tier 2 for tax saving from April 1st, 2019 onwards. Please do not even open a Tier 2 account. It's useless, and the tax and the taxation is even unknown. For all subscribers, let me summarize. Please do not open a Tier 2 account if you already are using NPS. If you do not have an NPS account, do not use it for 50,000 tax saving. It's just peanuts. It's just not amount to much. You're going to lock up that money. Do not do it. If already open, keep it alive with minimum contributions. Even if you wish to continue, it's not a big deal. Like I've said many times in this video, there are bigger problems. You need to make sure you're investing elsewhere, and you have to invest a lot more money, significantly more money elsewhere. So you should worry about that. And finally, pension should be just one contribution, one component in your retirement basket. So focus on that. Focus on investing right elsewhere. And if you want to use this for tax saving for that 50,000, go ahead. It makes no difference, and it is of no use unless and until you are able to actually invest the amount necessary for your retirement in more liquid products elsewhere. Please, if you want to plan, do not shift your EPF corpus to NPS. That's just suicidal, and you cannot. You just make it illiquid, and you cannot retire or pull out that money until 60, which is essentially a tragedy. So don't do that. Please understand the importance of liquidity. And if you have any more questions on the NPS, drop them below, and I'll catch you in another video. Bye.